Hey guys, it's Charlie G. Today I'm going to be going over some tax deductions that you can do for your business. I'm going to relay a lot of the things that I was able to deduct from my music business. So if you're in the entertainment or the arts business and you have opened a company, these should probably cross paths.
Hustle, 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 step. Move, and make it back. First we gotta hustle, so we get the cash.
I pretty much learned these on the fly. This was not something that I was taught or I went to school for. I pretty much saved up all my receipts and bringing this to the accountant every year. He pretty much told me this I cannot deduct, this I can, and this goes in this category, this goes in that category. These are the deductions that probably are going to apply to you. And I'm going to go through these from the biggest expense to the least expense. Rent. If you are using your apartment solely for the purpose of your art form, then 100% of that rent is deductible towards your taxes. If you're using half of the apartment to live in and the other half to actually conduct your business, then it's a 50-50 split. Then you're only able to deduct 50%. In my case, I was using my apartment for the whole recording process. I even housed the artists that would come and work with me at times because we would work nights on songs. So staying overnight was a convenience for them. And the next morning we'll just get back at it. I definitely took advantage of that 100% tax deduction. If you are actually using it for that particular purpose, then you should be deducting 100% of your rent. Utilities, same rule applies. If you're using 100% of the utilities to run your business, whether it's the art, a makeup studio, a dance studio, then yes, 100% of the utilities are deductible from your taxes. However, if you are living there half of the time and then the other half you're actually conducting your business, then it's a 50-50% split. Your utilities include your electricity, your gas, your internet, even entertainment services like Netflix and Hulu. If you're using that to kind of keep your clients entertained throughout the process, all these things are considered utilities that you're paying from month to month. So definitely don't forget these. And your cell phone as well. Your cell phone is definitely an important one. Do not forget, because you're using it to constantly communicate with your clients. Advertisement. So in the old days, advertisement was newspapers, a radio ad, a banner ad somewhere, or slapping it on the side of some billboard. But nowadays, with everything in the digital age, we use like YouTube ad, YouTube banner ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads. All these things are completely tax deductible because you are actually using it to allow yourself to gain exposure in order for you to make money. So it's an expense that's supposed to bring you revenue and income. The way you have to think about this is anything that you are expensing towards bringing you revenue and income is the same way the IRS are going to be right there to take a portion of the profits for tax purposes. Is the same way you can deduct those expenses against what you're working towards to bring that revenue. And you can still, of course, deduct newspapers and flyers. If you're doing a lot of the traditional advertisements, it's all part of the whole process. For my music business, printing out CDs, album arts, as well as different flyers, business cards, all these things are advertising deductions I took advantage of. For those who are in the real estate realm of things, if you are hiring a photographer, a videographer to take pictures or videos of a space, if you're getting props to stage a particular space, even food as well, all these things are completely deductible. So do not let that just slip. Next out of the big chain is equipment. Equipment is a never-ending story. Typically your first year though, you are going to invest the most that you ever have done in your equipment, but after that you're probably just going to be getting little things over time. But for the equipment, I probably spent $15,000 on my first year just getting studio equipment. So that was speakers, that was mixing boards, paddings for the studio, microphones, microphone stands, desks, lighting, different lamps and stuff to create the mood, couches. All these things are considered equipment that you need in order for your studio to run. And I'm going to go over supplies a bit later, but some things could be considered that, or equipment supplies, and vice versa as well. Next one is supplies, and you can actually speak to your accountant if you're confused about certain things that you think are not supplies and they should actually be equipment. But then again, you're not going to be penalized if you put something that it could be considered a supply into the equipment stage, vice versa. So don't be nitpicky about that as much. For me, supplies was tape, paper, pen, ink that I had to buy for the printer, different little things that I know I use on a daily basis to pretty much run the studio properly. Like any little supplies, even a hard drive as well was considered a supply, and that could be considered equipment because a hard drive goes inside of a computer. It backs up your storage space for all your files, but you know, nobody's gonna sit here and nitpick about that. So it's okay if you're mistaken supplies for certain equipment. Meals are definitely tax deductible. So if you're going out to meet with a client at a particular restaurant or a place, then you can deduct that. Like for me, being in the music business, sometimes I meet with clients in a particular bar or even a particular club. We can't really do business there, but we are there to kind of get acquainted, and it starts the whole meeting and relationship process. So you can actually deduct that whole experience. You can deduct everything that you paid, all the meals that you paid, even the fees that you paid to get inside of the venue. All these things are completely tax deductible. If you later on now are going to a quieter setting where you can actually have an actual formal meeting and you had to order certain meals, same thing as well. You can deduct that because you're using the meal as part of the meeting. And if you have to travel for your business, so let's say you are a musician or a makeup artist or even a dance artist, and you had to travel all the way to a whole nother city, and you had to pretty much pay for your meals in order for you to stay there, then all that is completely tax deductible as well. And your stay at the hotel too. Don't forget, that's kind of in the same category as rent, because you're literally housing yourself temporarily at a place to make money. So it's the same way, like I said before, the IRS will take a portion of the profit. You have to deduct your expenses because you don't want them to tax you on the entire money of revenue that you made. You want to let them know that you actually spent some money to make that money. And legally, they're only supposed to tax you on that difference, not the whole revenue that you brought in. Entertainment is also tax deductible. If you are in the arts and entertainment business, of course, some of your clients, to get acquainted with them, you have to go to places where you can have a little bit of fun. So that could be bowling, that could be going to the movies. All these things are completely tax deductible. Do not let them phase by and thinking that the IRS don't consider that as an investment for you to make money. It is. Repair and maintenance is a big thing. If you are like a dance artist and let's say you got to get some pole or even some mirror, the mirror shatters, right? You had to pay someone to fix like the frame of it. If the mirror is still intact, the mirror shattered, it's done. Even for music too, in my nature of business, sometimes my speakers get blown out, a hard drive goes out, or a video card inside of the computer goes out. I have to pay a lot of money to get it repaired. All these things are completely deductible because I needed to continue to run and operate my business. So therefore it's an expense for me to continue to make money. Legal fees, so all the lawyers that you have to pay to draft up a contract, to review a contract, or any legal attorney for advice or anything that was involved in the process that you had to pay is completely tax deductible. Contract labors are completely tax deductible. Let's say you have to hire someone temporarily to do X service for you. It's completely tax deductible. For me, in my nature of business, that was a public relations person. That was a singer. That could have been an electrician or anyone that I've hired to do a particular service for me. And sometimes you might even get a promoter that can go in the advertising space category. However, it's probably going to fall in the contract labor. Majority of people that you get on the outside and it's an actual person is going to be considered contract labor. Marketing professional, a photographer, a videographer, an engineer, could be someone that is doing the same thing in your nature of business, but you needed their help to do X, Y, Z. There are definitely more categories than I have mentioned, It all depends on the nature of your business. So speak to the accountant. They usually have a full list of what's available, and the IRS might even update some of their lists over the course of the years. So definitely speak to a professional accountant to get that insight and information. If you have questions, talk to them as well. And if you have questions for me, feel free to drop a comment below. I'll try to answer them. I'm not a tax professional. I just pretty much learned this over time from my experiences, and I'm just sharing it all with you. So always look into your nature of business and ask others as well, and ask other professionals to see exactly how much they have learned and different things that you can deduct. This is just to get you in the habit of knowing that you should be saving your receipts, and you should be trying to deduct all the areas that you can, because you're investing in yourself, you're investing in your company to make money. So it's important to not just let that go to waste and not save your receipts and not deduct these things. So please stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't done so already, drop a comment if you have any questions, just let me know your thoughts. And if you have anything that you'd love to share, I'd love to hear it. Peace until next time.